The most powerful weapon ever created wasn't forged in a fire, split in a lab, or launched from a silo. It was woven from the vibration of the human voice. In File 05, we decoded the Horus lens, the visual hardware required to see the codes of reality. But seeing the code is passive. To influence the biological system of another, you need the Siren frequency. We have been taught that language is a tool for communication. In the lens of biomythology, words are actually acoustic commands designed to override the conscious mind and speak directly to the cellular operating system. The myth of the siren isn't a story about sea monsters. It's a manual on neural entrainment. Whether it's an ancient Sanskrit mantra, a Gregorian chant, or a modern 15-second commercial, the architecture of the song is identical. It relies on syntactic parallelism, the repetition of specific rhythmic structures. When the brain hears a sequence of sounds following a specific mathematical cadence, it enters a state of cognitive ease. The prefrontal cortex, the seat of your logic and your God gate, relaxes its guard. The brain stops analyzing the message and starts absorbing the frequency. You aren't being convinced by the words. You are being synchronized to the intent of the speaker. But how does a sound wave control a biological organism? The secret lies in the vagus nerve, the longest nerve in your body and the information superhighway of your nervous system. Specific linguistic patterns and low-frequency hums trigger the vagus nerve interface, inducing a parasitic trance-like state. Our ancestors understood this. They built the Great Pyramid and Stonehenge as resonance chambers, not for worship, but for bio-acoustic calibration. By striking specific frequencies, they could strike the microcrystals in the pineal gland we discussed in File 05, forcing the entire tribe into a state of collective coherence. The sirens weren't singing to your ears, they were singing to your physiology. But a frequency that can harmonize can also destroy. We are currently living in a state of acoustic malware. The modern world is saturated with infrasound and high-frequency digital noise that keeps the human nervous system in a state of perpetual fight or flight. This is the siren hack of the empire. By flooding your environment with discordant frequencies, they prevent the vagus nerve from entering the rest and digest state. They don't need to chain you if they can keep your internal rhythm in a state of constant, low-level anxiety. To break the spell of the siren, Project Apotheosis requires an acoustic reset. The ancients utilized the Solfeggio frequency-specific tones like 528 Hz and 432 Hz, which were believed to facilitate DNA repair and cellular harmony. The Odysseus protocol wasn't just about waxing the ears, it was about anchoring the soul to a central frequency that the siren could not reach. By practicing intentional silence and resonant breathing, you can unsync your biology from the digital static. You reclaim your role as the conductor of your own internal orchestra. You stop being the instrument played by others and start becoming the composer of your own reality. But mastering the senses is only the preparation for the ultimate challenge. Now that the brain is mapped and the perception is cleared, we must address the vessel itself. The software is updated. The sensors are calibrated, but can the physical frame survive the power we are about to unlock? Tomorrow, we move to Day 4, the physical limit, where we look at the genetic mutations that turned men into demigods. Subscribe to Say in Mythos as we move from the senses to the strength. Prepare your hardware for the ultimate physical upgrade, because the most powerful weapon ever created wasn't forged in a fire, split in a lab, or launched from a silo. It was woven from the vibration of the human voice. Next, File 07, the Heracles mutation.